Have you ever felt invisible at work? Not ignored outright, but quietly moved to the edge of the frame. Your ideas still make sense, your experience still matters, but somehow it doesn't land the way it used to. You notice it in meetings, in who gets the follow up questions, in whose ideas get traction and whose don't. And if you're over 50, you may have felt something else shift. The spotlight keeps moving, just not towards you. Projects that should have your name on them, they go elsewhere. Your experience is appreciated but rarely acted on. You're trusted to keep things running, just not trusted with recognition. And here's the truth nobody tells you. This isn't about your ability. It's not about your relevance. It's not about keeping up. It's a quiet systemic shift in modern workplaces, one that sidelines midlife professionals without ever announcing it. Over the next few minutes, I want to show you why this happens, what it does to your confidence, and how to take back control so you're truly seen again. Because invisibility may be common, but it's not inevitable. Invisibility rarely arrives all at once. It drifts in, quietly, almost politely. Most people assume it's personal, but it isn't. Around 50, the workplace begins to reorganise itself around you. Companies chase fresh energy. Youth gets confused with innovation, and speed gets mistaken for intelligence. Leaders invest heavily in early career talent because it feels like a long term bet. Meanwhile, people with experience become the backbone, the problem solvers, the mentors, the stabilisers. And ironically, that reliability makes you less visible. You become the person who just gets it done, the safety net, the one they lean on but rarely spotlight. The signs are subtle at first. Your ideas get nods, then disappear. You're no longer invited to certain meetings, or a role that you were perfect for goes to someone younger. Praise flows upward, not outward. Eventually, the questions turn inward. Did I lose my edge? Am I still relevant? Why don't they see what I bring? Naming the system is the first step, because you can't respond strategically to something you keep blaming on yourself. Being unseen doesn't just affect your career, it reshapes how you think. When your work isn't recognised, your brain reads it as rejection. Stress rises, motivation drops, self doubt creeps in. So you speak less, you volunteer less, you start editing yourself. Not because you're less capable, but because the environment quietly signals that your contribution is optional. There's a term for this: workplace marginalisation. You're contributing, you're adding value, but your presence doesn't register. And here's the trap: the more invisible you feel, the quieter you become. The quieter you become, the more invisible you appear. It's not that you're fading, it's that the system wasn't designed to highlight midlife professionals. Once you understand that, you stop internalising the damage, and that's where the control begins to return. My wake up moment wasn't dramatic, just revealing. I was given more responsibility, more tasks, more pressure, but not more recognition, not more support, not even a conversation. They trusted me with the hard work, just not enough to acknowledge it. That moment didn't lead to opportunity, it led to a reset because I finally saw the pattern. This wasn't about effort, it wasn't about capability. It was a result of a system that had been undervaluing experience for years. So I stopped asking, what did I do wrong? And started asking, what do I need to do differently? To be seen, to be valued, to make my experience impossible to overlook. And that shift changed everything. Most companies don't deliberately sideline people over 50, but the patterns are real. High visibility roles go to rising stars, not because they're better, but because leaders project the future onto them. Managers often assume experienced employees want stability, not advancement. Reliability gets mistaken for complacency. Deep expertise is valued, but not celebrated the way speed and novelty are. Corporate culture rewards visibility, urgency, and momentum. Long term judgment works quietly in the background. Your value hasn't dropped, the spotlight has simply moved. And once you see that, you can stop chasing attention and start positioning yourself with intent. Here's the part most people get wrong: taking back control doesn't mean becoming louder or younger or playing a role that doesn't fit you. It means becoming deliberate. Start with visibility, not performance. Speak earlier in meetings, not longer. And put your thinking into writing, not just conversation, and make your contributions traceable. Next, build leverage, not loyalty. Mentor across generations, not downward. When younger colleagues succeed with your guidance, your influence travels further than your title ever could. And finally, own your own narrative. Stop waiting to be recognised for reliability. Reliability is assumed, judgment isn't. Name what you bring. Context, pattern recognition, decision making under pressure, things that only show up after decades of work and experience. This isn't about competing with 25-year-olds, they're running a completely different race. You're operating from depth, and depth doesn't chase attention, it commands it. If you've been feeling invisible after 50, there's nothing wrong with you. You've been navigating a system that quietly stops signalling your value. Your experience hasn't expired, it's just no longer automatically recognised. And that's why this matters. Because once you see what's actually happening, you stop shrinking, you stop asking for permission, and you start showing up with clarity and authority. If you're new to the channel, then my name's Stephen and this is Gen X in Motion. This channel is about navigating work, identity, and purpose in the second half of life. Honestly, realistically, and without pretending the rules haven't changed. And next week, I want to go one layer deeper because many of the frustrations we feel at work today aren't personal at all. They're rooted in the lies we were told about success, loyalty, and aging. And that's what I want to unpack in the next video. I'll see you then.